Lesson 1A, we're going to talk about evaluating and translating expressions. So like a lot of stuff at the beginning of AFTA, it is something that you should have seen before in Algebra 1. Now, I also understand that just because you have seen something before doesn't mean that you remember it or that you understood it the first time. So I'm going to go through this a little bit fast because I know it's review for some people, but if you are like, that was way too fast, I need you to back it up and slow it down, we'll do that in class. Okay, so first thing we're going to talk about is the difference between evaluating and solving. Okay, so expressions are things that we evaluate. And we evaluate by substituting values in for those variables. Okay, so an expression might be something like this, 2x plus 4. Okay, there's no equal sign. This is called an expression. And if I were to evaluate it, I would need somebody to tell me x equals whatever. I'll pick 3. All right, and I would plug that 3 in for x and figure out what this is worth. That is called evaluating. Okay, that's different than solving an equation. So when I'm solving, I am finding the value of the variable that makes the equation true. So to solve, I have to have an equation. So this time it might be something like 2x plus 4, and they'll tell me that is equal to 12. All right, and so when we are solving, nobody tells you what x is equal to. That's your job to figure out what x is equal to. So here we have some problems that we're going to practice. All right, we are going to substitute the numbers that they give us in for those variables. We're going to do that using parentheses, because if I have like 2x, that means 2 times x. So when I put the number in for x, I need to make sure that I know I have to multiply those. And then we're going to follow order of operations. So hopefully you remember. All right. So I have 2x, and x is equal to 2. So now I have 2 times 2 plus 3 times y. Well, y is equal to negative 3. Minus 4 times w, and w is equal to negative 4. All right, so order of operations, I am going to do all of these multiplication first. So 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. And then negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. Okay, and then addition and subtraction, I just go left to right. So 4 minus 9 would be negative 5. All right, plus 16, negative 5 plus 16 is going to be positive 11. So that is evaluating the expression. Okay, I'll do one more with you. So x squared, well, I know x is equal to 2. So I have 2 squared minus, whoops, let me put that in parentheses. And then y is equal to negative 3. So negative 3 squared, right? And those parentheses are important. So 2 squared, that means 2 times 2, which is 4. And then negative 3 squared, negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. So I have 4 minus 9, which would give me negative 5. All right. We'll do example 3 as well, and then I'm going to have you try some on your own. So I have 2 times p, so I have 2 times 1/2, and then all of this is raised to the 3rd power minus w, which is negative 4, over x, which is 2. Okay, so parentheses first, I need to simplify this in here. 2 times 1/2, that is 1. So now I have 1 to the 3rd minus negative 4 over 2. All right, parentheses exponents. Here's my exponent, 1 to the 3rd power. That is still 1. So 1 minus negative 4 over 2. All right, multiplication and division. Remember that a fraction bar is division. So I'm going to leave the 1 minus part. Negative 4 divided by 2 would give me negative 2. All right, so I have 1 minus negative 2. Well, minus a negative is the same thing as adding, so 1 plus 2, which is 3. Okay, so examples 4 and 5. I want you to pause the video here. I want you to try them on your own, and then when you come back, I'll have the answers for you to check. Okay, so here's the answers that you should have got for number 4 and 5. One thing I want to point out really quick about this 32 over negative 5. A lot of people sometimes get confused about, they want to know where the negative sign has to go. Okay, I want to show you something. If I write it this way, or this way, or this way, all three of these mean the exact same thing. Okay, so it really doesn't matter whether you write it with the numerator, the denominator, or just out in front of the fraction. They all mean the same thing. Next thing we're going to look at is translating. So these are just sort of some common words. You might remember a lot more of things that mean addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. This is the part where everybody gets tripped up, where we use the phrase less than. So for less than B. Okay, anytime you see those words less than, it means we are going to switch the order. So 4 less than B means B minus 4. Okay, and the way that I think might help you to remember it is if we put some actual numbers in there. So 2 less than 7. So let's say that I have been a teacher for 7 years and my sister has been a teacher for 2 years less than me. Okay, so if I've been a teacher for 7 years, 2 years less than that would be 5. So that would be 7 minus 2 equals 5. So anytime you see those words less than, we're going to switch that order. Whatever they said second is actually what we are subtracting from. Okay, so we have some examples. A number. All right, anytime you see that phrase, a number, that is the variable. Okay, you can use X, T, R, whatever your name starts with. It doesn't really matter. It is the variable. So a number increased by 7, increased by would be plus. So that would be X plus 7. Okay, the sum of 2 and a number. Sum is addition. So the sum of 2 and a number divided by 3. And I want you to get in the habit of writing your division as fractions. We're not really going to use this symbol anymore. 5 less than, twice a number. So anytime I see less than, I know this part has to come first. So twice a number, that's 2 times x. And then we want 5 less than that. Okay, pause here, try 4 and 5 on your own. All right, those are what those answers should be. Anytime you see the phrase the quantity, that is an indicator that you need to use parentheses. Okay, so the quantity, we're using parentheses. All right, and now everyone's favorite word problems. So we're going to write an expression for the amount of money spent on a 3-bedroom apartment. There might be some vocabulary here that you aren't sure about. All right, this is a $150 deposit. A deposit means I have to pay that up front. Okay, then I'm going to pay $475 a month. So I'm going to pay that deposit and I'm going to pay $475 for every month that I live in this apartment. It doesn't tell us how many months, so that is my unknown or my variable. Okay, I want you to pause here, try number 7. All right, this one is a little bit tricky. So I'm paying $20 for the first person, and then I'm paying $15 for every person after that. So that's why I put this in as x minus 1. So if you think about it, let's say I had 3 people on the shuttle. I would pay $20 for the first person, and then those other 2 people, they would be $15 each, so that would be $30. So I'm only paying I'm not paying another $15 for the first person, so that's why I need to subtract that one person. Okay, and that is it for lesson 1A.